Why the rich keep getting richer? It's a system. You work hard, 40, 50, maybe 60 hours a week. You try to save what you can, to get ahead. But does your financial situation at the end of the year ever look that different from the year before? Meanwhile, the world's billionaires just keep getting richer. In 2024, their wealth shot up by $2 trillion, a rate 3 times faster than the previous year. That isn't some coincidence. It's not because they're working thousands of times harder than you. It's because the whole idea of trading your time for money is a lie. The lie is that if you just put your head down and work hard, you'll build wealth. But the game is rigged. You're playing checkers while they're playing a completely different game on a board with rules written just for them. This isn't about pointing fingers. It's about exposing the system. A system designed so that capital, money itself, grows faster than your labor ever could. Today, we're pulling back the curtain. Let's get one thing straight. There's a huge difference between how most of us make money and how the wealthy build their fortunes. Most of us earn income. We get a paycheck for our time, our labor, our skills. It's a direct one-to-one trade. The wealthy, they focus on acquiring wealth. Wealth isn't a paycheck. It's the assets you own that make money for you. Think stocks, businesses, real estate, the stuff that works for you even when you aren't. While the data varies, studies consistently show the wealthiest households get the vast majority of their income from this kind of capital, while for most people, it's a tiny fraction. Why? Because you're focused on earning while they're focused on owning, and the system is built to reward owning way more than it rewards working.
The first rule of the system, the tax code.
So, how does the system reward ownership? It all starts with the tax code. If you earn your money from a salary, you pay income tax. In the US, that's a progressive system with tax brackets that can go all the way up to 37%. The more you earn from your job, the higher your tax rate gets. But the money made from selling assets, like stocks or real estate that you've held for over a year, is called a long-term capital gain. And here's the kicker. It's taxed at a much, much lower rate. For most people, the capital gains tax rate is 15%, and for the wealthiest, it tops out at 20%. Let that sink in. A doctor earning a high salary, saving lives, will pay a higher tax rate than an investor who makes the exact same amount of money just from selling some stocks. This isn't some loophole, it's a deliberate feature. The policy is there to incentivize investment. But who has the cash to make big investments in the first place? The people who already have money. The system gives a massive head start to people who make money with money, while taxing labor, the main income source for almost everyone, at a much higher rate. It's not about doing anything illegal. It's that the legal system itself is designed to favor wealth over work. The engine of the system: asset accumulation and leverage. That favorable tax code is the fuel. But the engine of the wealth machine is accumulating assets. The rich don't just own a few things. They are masters of acquiring them. They know the goal isn't just to save money, but to turn their earnings into things that either grow in value or produce passive income. They build portfolios of stocks, real estate, and private businesses. This isn't just about playing it safe by diversifying. It's about creating multiple streams of income that have nothing to do with their direct labor. While an employee depends on a single paycheck, a wealthy person could be collecting stock dividends, rent from properties, and business profits all at once. But here's the secret sauce that kicks this engine into overdrive: leverage. For most of us, debt is a dirty word. It's high-interest credit cards and car payments that suck your wealth away. For the rich, debt is a tool. They use what's called good debt, which just means borrowing money at a low interest rate to buy an asset they expect will generate an even higher return. Think about it. You borrow money at 3% to buy a commercial building that gives you a 10% return. You are literally using the bank's money to make yourself richer. The ultra-wealthy can even borrow against their massive stock portfolios at incredibly low rates and use that cash for living expenses, completely tax-free. or to snap up even more assets. It's a powerful feedback loop. Buy assets, use them as collateral to borrow cheaply, buy more assets, and repeat. It's a wealth-building cycle that's nearly impossible to start with just a salary because it requires a big pile of capital to begin with.
The guardian of the system. Power and influence.
A system like this doesn't just happen by accident. It was built, and it's actively protected. Wealth buys a lot more than just nice things. It buys influence. A 2025 report from the Pew Research Center found that a median of 60% of people across 36 different nations believe that the rich having too much political influence is a major reason for economic inequality. This influence works in a few ways. Through lobbying, campaign donations, and funding think tanks, the wealthy and their corporations can shape laws to benefit them. They push for policies that keep their taxes low, deregulate their industries, and weaken protections for workers. It's a strategic investment in keeping the game rigged. Studies have shown again and again that as economic inequality rises, political inequality follows, creating a government that listens more to the affluent. Even personal backgrounds and social circles play a part. Politicians often come from the wealthier parts of society, so their own experiences and networks naturally align with the interests of their peers. They might genuinely believe that policies like lower capital gains taxes are good for everybody, the classic trickle-down theory. But the research has shown that the benefits of these policies rarely trickle down to most workers. Instead, they pool at the very top. This creates a political bubble where the rules aren't just written by the wealthy, but are enforced through a lens that ensures they keep winning.
CTA, the solve.
So, the game is rigged. The tax code is tilted, the asset engine is out of reach for most, and political influence stands guard. It's easy to feel angry or hopeless, but giving up isn't a strategy. The solution isn't just to get mad at the players, it's to understand the game so you can start playing it differently. First, educate yourself. The single best investment you can ever make is in your own financial literacy. Learn what an asset is versus a liability, understand the basics of investing, the power of compound interest, and the language of taxes. They don't teach this stuff in school because the system is happier with you as a compliant worker, not a savvy owner. Second, start shifting your mindset from just being a worker and a consumer to being an owner. This doesn't mean you need to buy a skyscraper tomorrow. Start small. Prioritize buying even tiny pieces of assets instead of just buying more stuff. The path to real financial security is paved with ownership, not just hard work. And finally, talk about it. Share this video, have these conversations. The more people who understand how wealth inequality actually works, the more pressure there will be to build a fairer system. A system where work is valued as much as wealth and where everyone has a real shot, not just to get by, but to get ahead. The rich keep getting richer, not because they're smarter or better. They keep getting richer because they are playing in a system that's perfectly designed to multiply their advantages. It's a system where capital is taxed less than labor, where assets can be used to create more assets, and where wealth itself buys the power to keep the whole thing going. The great myth we're told is that we're all just climbing the same ladder. The truth is, the wealthy own the ladder, the rungs, and the building it's leaning on. So the goal has to change. Stop spending all your energy trying to climb their ladder and start learning how to build your own.